ค Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. Sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
All right. You know what? Hannibal on the TV show, The A-Team, in the 80s, used to say something when everything worked out. Hannibal would say, he would light up a stogie. He would say, I love it when a plan comes together. And you can see what up here on the screen here. We have an article that's about a week old. As a matter of fact, it's a week old. Exactly. From Variety. Big shout out to Porter Rock 77 for catching this. And I think we can put the nail in the coffin of these sorry ass content creators who were lying about Sony going in the wrong direction. You can clearly see here, this is Variety. This is a trade. So when you hear me talk about the trades, this is one of the trades. This is Variety. Okay, they report mostly on pop culture, things like that. Movies mostly, some politics, but you can clearly see they're talking about Drake, his tour. They're talking about the Oscars, you know, they're talking about Dwayne Johnson and company, things like that. Talking about Netflix. That's kind of what they're about. But I'm glad they decided to wake up this morning and wake up yesterday morning and, you know, flat out tell these guys that, you know what, you know, they're a good looking man and went to go get the Vaseline and then they busted their cheeks because, and there ain't no way getting away with it at this point. Sony is going in the right direction. Sony's going in the right direction. So all these hobosexuals in the PlayStation community. Again, remember, there's a difference in the fanboys and the gamers. We talked about it a little bit last night. Shout out to 60 frames, no lag. We had some technical difficulties yesterday. Beg your pardon on that one. If you can listen to it, I can give you my part of it. I did have to leave because I'm doing my job orientation this week. So had to get up early in the morning and be out at orientation at 7:45. So you can imagine it was quick. It went fast. But yeah, definitely getting some things lined up, you know, insurance and benefits. My goodness, the benefits are tremendous. So definitely found a nice one. Found a nice one. Now we got to capitalize, right? So, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but not their own facts. And when you hear these hobos talking about, well, I don't care. That's my fanboy voice. Now, I don't care what happens. I don't like the fact that Sony is putting games on PC, or I don't like the fact that they're doing this. Well, Sony, there's a reason why these guys are consumers and they're not in the room making decisions. They're outside. So the first thing you have to learn is nobody gives a rat's ass what you think. Nobody moves to what these fanboys want. Do you think when Sony did the PlayStation 4, they cared? You know, they were happy with it. They were happy with the sales, but they still made a Pro. That's because they're on their own clock. Do you think that LG cared about the LG CX TV as popular as it was? As, you know, people wanted that TV. As soon as it come in, it go right back out like diarrhea. No, they went and they improved their TV and made the C series, the 1s, the 2s. Now the 3s are going to be coming in, gee whiz, in about another month. The C3s are coming, not C3PO. Y'all have to remember that. You know, and these businesses move to their own timetables. You know, whether they push something up or down, they move to their own timetable. They're their own beat. They have their own market strategy is what it's called. But you can clearly see from this article that Sony PlayStation soaring amid industry decline in consumer spending. So there's just been an outright decline in a lot of consumer spending, like movie theaters, right? Movies were overperforming before the pandemic. I mean, you had like the Avengers. You had like Captain Marvel come out and make $1 billion. Black Panther made over $1 billion. Again, the people were just shilling out the cash, right? Now the movies have adjusted and they're coming in right where they should. Okay, they're coming in right where they should, right? So, and Sony knows what they're doing because they have people who get paid a lot of money. They get paid a lot of money to figure out the market. And they already have the market figured out. How many people bitched and moaned about The Last of Us remake, remaster? Only now to see the numbers, okay? The numbers are skyrocketing for that game. Sales for that game are skyrocketing. Sales for part 2 are going up. Now, let's be honest. Part 2 was on sale a couple weeks ago for like $8, at least for me on the PlayStation Store digital, like $8.35. So as I said before, this is no longer. Get the phone. Hold on, right when I was on. All right. Had some phone issues, so that's why I've got that rinky-dink tone. I ain't gonna change nothing on that phone until I get my work stuff done. So you have these homosexuals out here. At this point now, what are they gonna do? Deny the numbers? You know, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And when you're looking at how strong these numbers are, you know, like it says here, for anyone else in gaming, this move would come across as a plea for consumers to spend at levels not seen since 2021. But for Sony, it's capping off a return to form. That's from Variety. Okay, it's not from me. So video gaming was marred by consistency year-over-year drops in consumer content spend, a trend that continued into January. But PlayStation 5 consoles recently overcame a shortage in semiconductor chips, which led to 7.1 million units shipped by Sony in the fourth quarter of 2022, a new record for PS5. So that means that they shipped more and got more out than at any other point for the PS5. So it says, what's your end result? PlayStation resisted the content sales decline. The 2022 holiday quarter, the one we just came out of, saw revenue from hardware sales more than double year over year, skyrocketing from just under 1.5 billion to more than 3.2 billion, but they're going in the wrong direction. This is why these dudes, I'm telling you, this is why these dudes are getting, that's why these dudes are getting the Vaseline treatment, okay? Again, and I'm going to ask you all a hard-ass question tonight. I'm going to ask you all a hard question. Why do you think people continue to listen to these guys? Now, shout out to J-Dub last night. J-Dub says it's a clout thing. And it could be. What's your opinion? Now, I didn't disagree with that, but, we're here now. So what is your opinion? Why would these guys tell you all this only to now see these numbers and then not say anything? Because in turn, total software sales went up more than 30% for the quarter, fiscal quarter, with a nearly 20% increase in revenue observed for network services as well. Overall, revenue for Sony's group gaming and service Sony's group game and network service segment increased 53% year over year from the 2021 holiday quarter. By God, I mean, come on, I want you all to really soak that number in. Because weren't you told they were going in the wrong direction? Huh? Who's the one that said give them a year to see what they're doing? Let's see how it plays out. Well, let me give you one guess. He's the guy with the biggest nuts in the gaming community. That would be me, by the way. I'm the one who said give them at least a year to see what they produce. Well, it's in the direction. I mean, Craig, you're everything that's wrong with PlayStation. Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers, dumbass. Look at it. Look at it. And while you're looking, make sure you go ahead and tan yourself up real good with that KY jelly, because you know your cheeks are about to get split. They're gonna split him wide. They're gonna split you wide open. They splitting you wide open. Nothing you can do about it. So why are people listening to him at this point? It could be clout. I'm not here to say it's not. I'm asking you your opinion. There is no right or wrong. I'm not going to be arguing with people because the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie, and I have zero tolerance for bitch assness. I just do. It's just my personality. I'm a Virgo. I can't apologize for it. So it says top publishers are making cuts as a result. Okay. EA axing mobile versions of Apex Legends and Battlefield. I didn't know that. Take-Two Interactive announcing layoffs as its publisher Rockstar hunkers down on getting the next Grand Theft Auto game out the door. I mean, Take-Two will probably bring those people back. Fingers crossed. Activision Blizzard was spared the pain of the consumer spend dip as October's Call of Duty, call in the B2, helped bring in record net bookings, though costs increased due to the company's $35 million settlement with the Securities and Exchange Commission, better known by its gangster name, the SEC, following its handling of accusations of workplace misconduct. Wow. The Call of Duty sales are a major part of why Xbox owner Microsoft is adamant to submit its $69 billion deal to acquire Activision Blizzard, combined with the lucrative mobile revenue from publisher King. Ownership of Call of Duty stands to put Xbox on equal footing with PlayStation when it comes to revenue. Yep, now you see why they want them. Revenue. As Xbox currently sells about half as many systems as PlayStation does. Okay, so now you see why Microsoft is doing what they're doing. How do we increase revenue? Because we only sell half the stuff that our competitor does. So how do you increase revenue? You go out and buy a major publisher that then you say, we'll give them, the revenue, we're going to give them a 10-year deal, but we're going to keep the majority of the revenue. Sony's not going to, I will be surprised. I can't say what Sony, I'm not in the room. Based on what's been reported, I don't see Sony signing that deal, but it could change, right? It could change. I'm not in the room. And if they sign or it doesn't sign, it won't make me any difference, because the Call of Duty 3 that's coming, I think it's supposed to come this year. The Call of Duty that's allegedly coming out, they need to go, that's the last Call of Duty I'll buy. Because I'm buying all of them. The remaster, remakes, the reimaginings, I think it was called, which is fine. I'm happy with it. That's good. I'm fine with it. Dig? But Microsoft itself has been cutting 10,000 jobs, including those at key teams under Xbox and sister publisher Bethesda, with first-party games at both units undergoing long development cycles. They're switching a lot of games to Unreal 5. Which is fine. I mean, I got no problem, right? We saw what Unreal 5, we saw some glimpses of what Unreal 5 could do, a few years ago. Ain't no hate. I played Hellblade 1. God willing, I'll play Hellblade 2. So, but it says here it's high time for Xbox to gain any kind of edge it can. I don't blame Microsoft for doing what they're doing. I just don't understand why they want to come out and lie about stuff. Like, I've never understood that. Again, the dude's in the cell with you, and he's like, you a pretty looking man, and I'm doing 2 double life sentences. That's 40 to 50 years. He ain't gonna get no woman, so he's gonna pull out that Vaseline and say, you're gonna have to give it up. So, and right now, it's these guys that lied and said they were going in the wrong direction. They're hiding their bullshit behind their opinion. That's what gets me. That's what grinds my gear. Shout out to Jez. So, As much as Sony is fighting tooth and nail with global regulators to restrict the Activision deal, the success of The Last of Us series on HBO has opened PlayStation up to even a wider audience. This is true. That can experience the original game on PC, in a couple weeks, into March, due to Sony's embrace of the PC market in years. If PlayStation succeeds with this push into live services and mobile, it will underscore how critical it is for gaming companies. And remember, they're pushing into this right now, okay? Especially mobile. Didn't they buy a company for mobile? I mean, people are bragging about that game, Stella Blade. That game is from I believe, a mobile company, a small mobile company, and Sony, I believe, paid, gave out some cash to go ahead and gave out some cash to go ahead and get that game on PlayStation. So that's my understanding. We'll have to wait and see if it turns out to be true. Okay. But if the post-pandemic boom and content spend continues to prove unsustainable, the number of companies with the resources to do so is sure to keep shrinking. Basically, what this article is about is how people contracted, after the fourth quarter. That's when you saw the layoffs and stuff like that. Sony did not. And now you're seeing their numbers, which proves they were going in the right direction. I mean, I think, we can, I think this has been beaten to death enough that these guys just didn't know. Again, they were reacting emotional, and that's not what men do. Men don't have emotional reactions. Men have logical reactions and logical discussions, right? And right now, if these dudes are on another panel, they will be getting called all kind of stupid MFers. And I'm talking about some major red pill panels. All right. Because again, don't hide what you think. I can see if you had access to information that nobody else had access to. I'm all for that. I'm all for it. But when you don't have access to the information that these companies do, and you set up there and you spread, you look stupid. Like right now, you look dumb. I don't know anybody who don't think you look stupid. You look stupid. I got called everything but a child of God on 60 frames no lag a few years ago. I was told I was everything that was wrong with the PlayStation community. Actually, I'm the only person that makes common sense out here. So, I mean, it is what it is. Shout out to the gamers, right? Now, if you're a fanboy, I don't make no sense. I'm your worst nightmare, right? So to those guys and gals, I'm everything but a son of God. I'm everything but that. I got called everything but Chinese Jesus, But now we see where things are, and what do they say? The receipts, isn't that what you kids call it? The receipts are coming in, and that what you kids call it? And it's just time for some people just to shut up. You can go sit. I mean, remember when you used to go over your grandparents' house or your aunt's house for Thanksgiving and Christmas for dinner, and you had the big table where the adults were, and then you had the little bitty kiddie table, and it had little flowers. You had the little short stools, and you got to eat off of paper plates, and you might have gotten that special Kool-Aid. I'm talking about the Kool-Aid with the they put the Sprite in there too. I don't know if you've had that. Get you like some cherry Kool-Aid and fill half a glass up with cherry Kool-Aid and then put some Sprite in on top of it. Go ahead and get that going. And that's what you got. Like I said, it's retarded. Whiskey. So the question for you all, and you ponder on it, is because you know who these people were, okay? You know who they were, or you know who they are. So why is it that, they won't come out? And some have. Let's give credit where credit is due. They need to just come out, they need to come out and say it, because again, that dude's in the cell with them, okay? And telling them they a pretty man, and that he's doing 50 years and ain't no women coming in here. So he didn't already reached under his pillow and grabbed him the Vaseline and was like, yeah, you know what? You're going to give up that butt. That's what's happening right now. And I'm talking about these dudes are straight clowns, okay? You know, talk down on Forspoken. It's gonna have a bad Metacritic score. It's gonna give Sony an L. I mean, please. I mean, judging the game before it came out. I mean, you know, if people had played the game, there were some issues with it. If you played the game and you make those observations, makes sense to me. But these dudes are some straight up hobo clowns. I don't get. And the question at this point for you guys is, why are you listening to them? I mean, again, I can only speak for myself. I don't listen to them. Okay, I don't listen to them. I can't. Okay. I can't, you know, big dog, big nuts. I can't listen to them. And I'm not here to say they don't play their games. This ain't about them playing games. This is about them being trash. Like I said, trash ass content creators. So why are you listening to them? You know, just it is what it is. The question isn't them. I can't knock somebody for stripping and stunting for super chat money. Why are you listening to them? As grown-ass men, as logical grown men that have to add value, what value are they adding to you individually? What? I mean, seriously, what value are they adding to you? And men earn value. Women are born with value. These dudes act like women, I'm telling you. They act like women. And just like a woman, they can't admit when they wrong. Isn't that what women do? So the question now becomes, it's not about them. It's about us as gamers giving them the time of day. Again, I don't listen to them. You did? I don't. I can't. My nuts is too big. I don't have the patience. So that's my reason why I don't listen to them. So what is your reason on why do you think people still listen to these cats? And women too. Let's just, you know, we got to call a spade a spade. But let's give a shout out to everybody here. That was my opening diatribe. I mean, that story had been out there. Shout out to Porter Rock. He kind of spoiled it for me. But I wanted to bring that up, but I was just busy this week with the orientation. So it was perfect, you know, the podcast yesterday. Then after Jay Barry did his podcast the other day, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Jay Barry has run into the same situation where you got a bunch of fanboys who are going to run the meta and open critic, which if it's important to you, that's fine. This is not about that. I'm asking you all, and don't tell me what I want to hear. You're free thinkers. You know, it's like the movie when Malcolm X was in prison, the movie Malcolm X that came out back in the day. Directed by Spike Lee. Denzel played Malcolm X. When Malcolm was in prison, Malcolm was like, everybody on the outside counts. And that dude was like, why, Malcolm? Why does everybody on the outside count? So if you are a gamer, why do you care so much about what other people think? Because now you're in that cell and that dude and told you a pretty looking man and he's doing 50 years. He ain't bailing out. And you the closest thing to a woman that he got in that cell. He's going to go up in that butt. That's what he's saying to him right now. That's what's happening. I'm looking at these numbers. The numbers don't lie, people. I can give a rat's ass about your opinion. You're fine. You got an opinion. Ask me if I care. Great. Do you care about their? No, I don't care. Am I buying Resident Evil? You bet your ass I'm buying it. Am I going to buy it opening day? No. Why not? Well, because if it's got puzzles in it, I am going to get past those puzzles by cheating off the people who already did it. That's what's happening. That's what I'm doing. Shout out to Cryptic Viper. Rudy of Legends in the house. How you doing, brother? General the 8, been a while. What's happening? Hopefully y'all enjoying the new time. I'm day shift now, Monday through Friday. On Saturday, we'll do no, I can't do a Saturday morning podcast. I'll be busy. So look for me a little gameplay cast on Saturday. Little Mass Effect 2, maybe. Maybe. So Chris Kennedy is here. Destiny is in the house. Somebody Spartan guy. Emrys, what's happening, brother? What's happening? Oh, Franco Tech. Man, it's been a minute, man. Where have you been? Hope everybody's doing okay. You know, Koopa Clips is in there. Said Resident Evil was his favorite RE was Outbreak. I never played it. Again, once I saw Resident Evil 3, now this is back in the day, and that dude was running through was chasing you going star. I didn't like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm done with it. So, and I started gravitating more towards the Silent Hill, the Hitchcockian tale of Silent Hill. That story to me was a little better for me personally. For me. So that Code Veronica, what is that was on Code Veronica. I played Code Veronica X. I did beat that one on Xbox. That's what I remember. Rioris, what's happening? I hope I'm saying that name right. Is there a samurai in the house? Heck yeah. Samurai Beast Warrior, how are you doing? Let me make this clear. It's you can see something and just be able to say, not my cup of tea. Let me make that clear as well. You can say that. You know, you go to a buffet. Most people, you know, when they go to a buffet, only eat 3 things or three types of food. That's on average. Emmer said, what's the redneck version of KY jelly? KY jelly. So Downward Decline said he didn't listen to anyone. He chose not to buy from based on. Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah, if you played the demo and you did not like, again, if you actually physically played it, it's like, hey, my cup of tea. I did the demo. I'm not, you know, not my type of hype. That makes sense to me. That makes sense because you tried it, right? So that does make sense. You got your hands on it. You played it forever. How long? An hour, 2 hours? Like, not my cup of tea. So, but the demo, they did give you all her powers. That's what from what I'm seeing. She was like overpowering, but yeah, very good. You know, I'm in, you know, very good game. I'm enjoying it. So she's taking what if you're writing, she's taking what is called a hero's journey. You know, she's taking a hero's journey. That's what she's doing. Again, that suits me. And I totally get if you play something. And if people want to say, well, you know, I ain't paying $70 for it. Well, right now it's $50 brand new at Best Buy. I just come from Best Buy. I had to get my phone looked at. Even asked him when the C3s were coming in, the TVs, the new LG C3s that were shown at CES. They're coming. What's up, Bob the Builder? What's happening? So, but moving on to our next story. Yeah, I mean, we'll give those guys cheeks a rest. I mean, it's, you know, people know who we're talking about. Those lame ass, whack ass dudes out there, you know, who don't know shit from Shinola. But, you know, like I said, over here in this yard, big dogs, big nuts. Okay? That's the way it is. This is the big table. This is where the adults sit. And you take your sorry ass to the little kiddie table and you'll get a cupcake. And maybe, just maybe, we'll give you a little bit of ice cream. Okay? On a paper plate. What's the saying? You know, your services are no longer needed because what you're saying is just bullshit. I said it last night on 60 Frames Live, and I'm saying it here tonight. What you all were saying is bullshit. But the question is, why do you all think people are listening to their bullshit? I mean, you got people talking about, you know, I've been around since the PS3 and I was in these rooms, and they were. I mean, let me make that clear. They were in those rooms. They were in those rooms. I saw those rooms. Like, man, they really going through it up in this mofo. Like, they are. They're really going through it up in here. Up in here, up in here. The question is, but that was over
I owe you
a
40 more
decade
for an
ago.
Porch Light podcast on Friday, about the signs of the lunar eclipse and other rings that is ancient that is reeling into existence. I seen Mars with my naked eyes twice.
Yeah, we all can, depending on where we are in the world. You can see Mars 2 to 3 times. You can see Venus too. I mean, Venus is the evening star? Is that what they call it? Is it the evening star or the morning star? I can't remember. It's one of those stars. I used to know that stuff. Shout out to Grudy for the $10. I do appreciate you, brother. And that makes Grudia he is the official. That makes him the official sponsor of the podcast. So shout out to Grudia Legends. So yes, RIP DMX, no doubt. RIP DMX. Yeah, your mighty Spartan God. People are Grudia is I like Grudia. He challenges reality as we all should. You should all be willing to walk up to that edge and take that next step. How you think we evolve as people. Okay? Can't catch a fish with your bare hands, gotta make a spear. Okay? Now you have automatic driving lawnmowers, which I'm surprised it took them this long to get there. Now there's solar power. You got the battery power ones. Now they got some that are solar. It's the Morning Star. Okay, yeah. Couldn't remember. One of those. Then what's the Evening Star? You know. But yeah, the Morning Star. Yeah, because you can see Venus in the morning for the most part with your naked eye. So yeah, shout out to Rudy. Yeah. Rudy wants me to talk about like the Sumerians and stuff like that. So yeah. The fact that Garudia knows that I know about that stuff, that's what makes Garudia impressive to me. That keeps him out of that cell with that dude doing 50 years. Okay? But Garudia get a pass by those shot callers. There's some of these other dudes out here. What do you all call them? The YouTube streets? What's happening to these dudes? Why don't you go listen to OG Silverback, his story. So go ahead and listen to that. Yeah, right. Now the Swag Lord, shout out to him, had Mass Effect going for like 15 hours yesterday. Now don't get me wrong, the way he's playing the game, the way he's going, his mission parameters, sloppy. Gonna pay a price at the end. I can tell you that right now. So, but the wait and see is his playthrough. Yeah, Sumar, yeah. Nova Red is in the house all the way from France. Wee and buns and all that good stuff. The city of lights, I believe they call Paris. And even she said Paris at night is beautiful. I don't know if it's romantic, but she said it's very beautiful. So, yes, Mesopotamia, Kemet, yeah, Tiamat, all of that stuff. Why do you think the in the movie what was the name of that Marvel movie? I cannot think of the name of it to save my life. But anyway, the thing that was coming out of the planet was named Tiamat. I think they got that name from. So anyway, y'all got to do your own research now. I can't remember the name of that movie. I can see it though. I'm finishing my whiskey. I can still give you the blues though. All right. So we're moving on to the next one. Now, as I was saying, I was at Best Buy earlier, and I can officially tell you, if you cannot look at the Best Buy website and go by if they have stuff in stock. I was told, that was up for smoking, I was told that the PS5 and the Xbox, and this is at my Best Buy, and I'm in a rural state, I'm in a rural red state, we have them in stock at both Best Buy. You just walk in there and get them now. Yeah, Eternals. There you go. It was a Celestial. Yeah, like I said, man, I'm halfway through a nice jar of whiskey. Couldn't remember everything. Plus, I'm on a roll. I'm not in the sale with that dude. Okay, I'm not in that sale. I'm outside looking in. Like my girl told me about a fish. She said nobody knows that the fish is swimming in the water. The fish doesn't know that. Everybody else can see the fish swimming in the water. The fish doesn't know that. The fish doesn't even know that you're looking at him. Big Lito said he's drinking wine tonight. There you talking. So, I'm telling you, man, as much as I played Mass Effect, I was watching that. It's sloppy. But you'll pay at the end. Don't worry about it. That's all I'm going to say to you. You're going to be paying at the end. So, trust me. I played it enough. So, but enjoy it. Enjoy. It's your playthrough. It's your Mass Effect. That's your Shepard. So, and you know, just telling you, Shepard y'all gonna pay a price. So, so you remember plugging up through rabbit ear? Yeah, I remember those things. Those things sucked. I mean, rabbit ears sucked. So, but yeah, all right. So remember, you can if you're going to go buy a PlayStation or an Xbox, if you're going to Best Buy, don't walk into the store and go back to where they're supposed to be because they're not there, right? You need to go to the customer service people and you ask them. Yeah, they will say, well, can I help you today? Let's just say Big Lito going in there to get a PlayStation, right? And Big Lito says, hey, look, it's time for me to go ahead and get one of those PS5s. And they're going to direct you over to their sales desk, and then they're going to go back there and get you one. And they got all of them, okay? They got all of them. So, oh, well, he's cool. Everything's cool, my man. I wasn't in a very good mood yesterday, so I'll openly apologize. Everything is cool, but I'll apologize. I didn't mean to kind of come back at him like that. So
EPL think technology is good. Just look up how many Tesla cars have been into accidents via and some die via self-robot driving. Lol. I terse it in humans.
Yeah, I don't disagree, Rudy. I don't disagree. That's a little too early. And you see they got self-driving trucks in West Texas. Did you all know that? Self-driving trucks. So, yeah, I would not trust a self-driving car yet. They have self-driving trucks. They've got pizza being delivered by a robot, like a robot car. And eventually, they're going to have those robots from Boston Scientific. They're going to be coming up to your door with those pizzas. It's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. I'm not lying to you there. You already see what they're doing, right? You can go to Boston, and you should have stock in Boston Scientific, okay? Go do some good stuff, okay? Go do some good stuff. Get yourself some stock. So again, let's, to be clear, shout out to Rudy again for the $10 super holla. Again, he's official. He's winning. He's if there was a dono war going on, he would have won it. So I've been up here stripping and stunting for super chats, right? So they're in stock. So, and I know most people here may have one or the other or both, but if you're looking to add or if you're looking to buy, again, they got them out here just in time for your income tax money, right? So they're not stupid. Again, they're not stupid, guys. But so shout out to both Microsoft and Sony taking, they took care of that. They finally have caught up. We can now officially walk into stores and get them. And different parts of the world, I noticed, and different parts of the United States, I will say as well, that you can walk in and get either one, maybe both. So I saw somebody a few weeks ago, they were in another country, but they bought both a PlayStation and an Xbox. The guy said he got a $3,000 bonus, and he took them both home. So shout out to him. So all right, well, we'll go ahead and move to the PS5 Pro. Eventually you need to start giving me my flowers because we talked about this over here in this yard, right? You were informed because my source, and everybody knows who my source is, Lou Waffa, right? Lou Waffa told me, yes, there's a PS5 Pro, but they do not know whether they're going to mass produce it or what, or if they were just going to make the PS6. I specifically said that weeks ago. And now here comes the mainstream media who's always behind. you know, who's always downwind. That's why they smell like ass. I mean, they smell like my ass because I'm always at the top of the mountain. So here come the mainstream media now talking about it. We talked about this already. I told you what they were going for. Now, it's just a matter if it's going to be a Pro or a PS6. That's just where they are with it right now. Okay, but they do have a manufacturing timeline, and you have to remember, nobody cares about what your timeline is. The PlayStation 4, again, I said this earlier, did very well. That did not stop Sony and Mark Cerny from doing the PlayStation 4 Pro. It didn't. They didn't just sit back and say, oh, gee whiz, you know what? Yeah, the PS4 is selling well. We're not going to go ahead and advance the technology. No, that's not the way technology advances. Not the way the tech advances. But again, some technology is good, but yeah, the self-driving stuff, maybe, you know, not in my lifetime, you know. I do think we'll see some pilot programs, like I said, with self-driving, but yeah, some of those cars are blowing up and people are dying with it. So, and I don't know, and this like you're gonna have flying cars. Have you seen the flying cars? The Jetson 1? Have you not seen that yet? So, you're gonna have these flying vehicles out here. You don't need an air license for them, an airship license. So they hover, they're about 50 feet off the road, and you should see them. They're real. That's not a mock-up when you look at those videos. That's real. I know the Jetson 1, you can buy that. I think it's $175,000. So yeah, there's gonna be people, especially over in like wine country, like France, those big old wine fields. Instead of them just walking around, they're gonna be able to get in their Jetson 1 and fly around their property. So it's crazy, I know. But that's what's gonna happen. What's up, Jeff B Gaming in the house? How you doing? So so that's your Pro. Now, what are the specs? Well, what are they going to do? Again, let me make this clear. Right now, about 70% of the games that are out, I would say the majority of the games that have ray tracing on there, they're at 30 frames per second. So again, I'll just imagine a third-party game like Cyberpunk, okay? Imagine Cyberpunk having ray tracing on there, having an upgrade of ray tracing while still being 60 frames per second. I think right now, if you play Cyberpunk in ray tracing mode, you're playing at 30 frames per second. Again, I'm not worried about the 30 frames. Again, in this yard, we told you that the 30 frames wasn't going nowhere, that the checkerboarding wasn't going anywhere, that dynamic resolution wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't the only one saying it. Now, those other dudes, those trash ass content creators who told you that everything's going to be 4K, everything, you know, it should be this, it should be that. Well, you should not be in that cell right now with that dude telling you what a good looking man you are, but that's where you are right now. You shouldn't be at the kiddie table, you know, getting paper plates and waiting on cupcakes, but that's where you are, okay? Like I said, over here, big dogs, big nuts. That's it. Men earn value, women are born with it. And just like women, those men, those hobosexuals, cannot admit that they're wrong. So shout out to all the men who admitted, hey, look, I was wrong about this. I'm a big enough man to look at these numbers. And so shout out to those guys, right? Those guys got transferred out of that cell, right? But these other punk asses are in there now getting their cheeks busted by that dude. I think they called him Chocolate Thunder. They in there with Chocolate Thunder. So, but that's your Pro. Now there's gonna be other things as well. Well, you think they made that Pro? They made a Pro. What's it called? The Pro, the handheld gaming pad. Isn't that called a Pro or an Elite or something like that? I forgot what it's called. You think they made that to put with the PS5? Nope. And eventually, as we all know, that the PS5, again, the PS5 is going to go to a digital-only console with a Blu-ray player, 4K Blu-ray player on the side that you can plug in. Now, that model to me is, I don't have enough room by my TV to put that. So that's just you know, for the people who, it's a good idea because you're going to save about $65, give or take, if they can get that to work. So you just go and get the digital for $3.99. You'll get the Blu-ray player for probably $49 to $59.99, and you'll pay more than digital. But hey, look, you're getting a Blu-ray player. You're getting a 4K Blu-ray player that will be standalone. Okay, it can stand alone. It can turn it. I don't right now. I don't think it's going to be slave to it. That's kind of where they're at with it. Should they slave it or just have it be separate? So we'll have to wait and see where Sony goes with that. But if they slave it, I would be surprised. I'm not saying it won't happen though. Don't put words in my mouth. I would just be surprised. But that's what they're going for. Everybody's like, well, what's it going to be? And people are like, well, I just bought a PS5. So what? Enjoy it. But that doesn't mean Sony's going to. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sony wants you to buy a PS5. So, but they're making, my understanding is, a premium console. I was told to call it the next PlayStation. It's being called PS5 Pro. You can call it whatever you want. So, and you know, but two SKUs. One will be for the Pro, or if you want to call it that. And again, my understanding, all digital with an add-on, okay? Or they could do a split SKU again. So we'll have to wait and see what they do. And there's a very good chance it could be on the 5nm chip design. It could be a 5nm SoC. Don't know that 100% yet. So don't know it. Shout out to J-Ro, appreciate you. J-Ro with the fist bump. Now you're talking. What's up, Brian? How you doing? So he don't think flying cars are a good idea. Yeah, well, again, they're coming. But you see what I'm saying? The technology is coming. Trey BK in the house. What's happening? That Trey BK, one of my first 50, I think. First 50 or first 100. Big shout out to Trey BK in the house. We're going to make Trey BK well, he's already a mod. Okay. All right. So shout out to Trey BK being in here. Shout out Seattle Chef in the house. That I'd suck to have a flying car break down or run out of juice. Well, I mean, again, they're out. They're coming. Again, your concerns are noted. Okay? I mean, you're right. You're not going to buy one. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. You're not buying one. Okay. But there are people going to be buying. Yeah, there are going to be people getting jacked up in them too. So, I mean, but they look like they have roll bars and stuff like that. At least the Jetson 1 does. I may try to put that up on the screen so you all can see it. I don't know. As we get into the burning bush or whatever this game is called. Any other questions on your next PlayStation is in design? Because Luwafa did tell me, hey, look, ray tracing at 60 frames per second. And again, you have the ray tracing now. You may have level 1 or tier 1. They can get it maybe to tier 2.5 to 3. They're gonna do it because the technology. AMD wants to show its prowess. If you don't know, if you went and saw Avatar: The Way of the Water, that was done on AMD software. NVIDIA couldn't do that. Again, NVIDIA can't handle it. AMD, Lisa Su, she's a beast, and I mean that in a good way. She's a beast. I mean, they taking NVIDIA to task. Get the likes up, people. So I'll start singing Rupert Holmes. I don't want me to sing Rupert Holmes. So imagine it flying on a crashing on somebody's house. Well, I mean, yeah, it's gonna happen. We people going through the windows. It'll happen. You know, it just is. Oh, that's right. Trey BK says first 35. He said we spit facts here. He's right in this yard. If you're right, man. I knew you were in the top 50, man. So, but yeah, he's first 35. I remember Trey. So I remember Trey BK being over here. It was what, maybe Trey, maybe 14 people in the chat, something like that.
First 35, people. We spit facts here, grin.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. I can't deny that. So, but yeah, let's see if I can pull that up there. But we'll take a look at the burning bush here from Gorilla and Gorilla. You know, all these people remember running around. I'm sick and tired. I mean, you think about it. I'm sick and tired. You know, with that. You know, They sound like that smoker, that woman that smokes. You know, I'm sick and tired of all these cross-gen games. And so now Sony stops making them. And it's like, Sony is trying to split the people. You know, the people who bought this burning bush. I mean, I'm sorry, the burning SHORES or Seas, whatever it is. They bought it on PS4. You all need to go ahead and put this game on PS4. I mean, so like that's the way they sound, right? You know, that is the way they sound. They can't help the way they sound. I'm not here to make fun of them. So, but yeah, I am in a way. But you know, the burning bush is going to show you, you know, the full power of RDNA 3, you know, on the PS5. You're going to finally see it in action. Okay? Now, this comes from our friends over at Push Square, because remember, well, hold on. I don't want to pull this article. Burning Shores skipping 4. Let's see here. And let me kind of pull this back a little bit. Yeah. So now understand, I've only played maybe an hour and a half of Forbidden West. As a matter of fact, I got to the first, I don't know, we would call it a vault. I don't know what you want to call that thing. I had to reset something. So that's what you do in Mass Effect Andromeda. But I don't know what they called them in which call it. Because again, shout out to Kylie Jones. She told me if I started playing Forbidden West on an OLED and my face is going to melt. So I don't want my face to melt. So, so I rather not. So, let's see here. But I'll put this up on the screen. Oh, my phone's not the ring. But despite, okay. So here, let me get my phone. Matter of fact, it's just, you know, you had the burning bush. I mean, you know, so I'm just calling it that. I don't know if you all believe in the burning bush. So, so let's see here. Let's go ahead and put this up here on the screen. If I can get my fat finger to work. This will be the last story here. We'll be landing the plane here after this story, because it's 8, almost, it's going on 9. So, but as you can see here, it says, unfortunately for PS4 gamers, they have yet to get their hands on a PS5 console. Again, let me make this clear. Your PS5s are in stores now. They're in the stores. This has been confirmed that the upcoming Burning Bush DLC for Horizon Forbidden West will be skipping the PS4. Horizon Forbidden West DLC has been rumored for some time, and it was finally revealed to the world at the Game Awards in 2022. Yes, that is true. So it says here that the final trailer came out and showed it would be coming out in April 19th. That is, we're closing in on what, 35 days, give or take. Many fans were impressed by the trailer and are excited to visit the post-apocalyptic Los Angeles in the world of Forbidden West. However, others were upset when the trailer only made mention of PS5, and many are now angrier now that it's been confirmed that the Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shore will only be on PS5.
Sony
so
be like, call me what you want. Just don't say I have no game.
Oh, yeah,
Lol.
I agree with you, man. You ain't getting no argument out of me. None. Shout out to Grudy for the $10 again. I appreciate it, man. Grudy flexing on everybody. He is flexing hard. So, again, so now why? I mean, again, the PS4 does not have RDNA 3, but the PS5 does. So let's just leave it there. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. It wasn't full RDNA 2 because they did sprinkle, like they put on these kids' plates, you know, at Thanksgiving and Christmas, the ones at the little table, put little sprinkles on their cupcakes. They sprinkle a little RDNA dust on there. General the Ape says, won't the PS5 digital PS5 disc version be holding back the new PS5? No. No, it's for two different audiences. So, but it's not gonna split them. There's nothing. It's not gonna hold back. They're gonna have the same architecture. It's just they're gonna move on. They're gonna move on from the I don't call it the digital, the one where you have the physical, which is mine. Okay, shout out to the community. So which is mine. You know, that's mine. So, and we were talking about this at Best Buy. You know, like collecting movies. I'm having to go onto Amazon and buy all my Marvel movies now because you can't find them. You know, I found some. You know, like the Eternals and Doctor Strange. I got both Doctor Stranges now. So I got 2 Captain America movies. I got to get Civil War. Then I'm going to move into the Iron Man. So, yeah. So what's up there, Samza? How you doing, brother? Peace out. How my new hours so far? So good. I think I'm going to be 7:30 to 4. But I'm going to really find out tomorrow. So I'm going to really find out. So I'm going to be like, hey, look, you know, am I 7 to 4 or am I 7:30 to 4? I can't remember. So we're going to find out. PS5 1440p 60, PS5 Pro 1800p 60, not worth another 500. Well, if it's 1800p to 2160p with a 4K, when that 1440p, you got to remember that 1440p will now be dynamic 4K, and the 60, you may have a 1440p 120 FPS mode. I mean, you are 120 hertz mode, I should say. So just my point, Kabini, is that they're on their own timeline. Okay, they're on their own timeline, people. So they're not on mine. They're not on yours. They're not on, you know, Big Lito's or Trey BK. Shout out to both them brothers. Okay, they on their own, and that's you gotta, if you have to make the decision, if you're a businessman, you don't think it's worth it, okay, that's fine. Look, I didn't think that new PlayStation controller was worth $200. I still don't. I can't believe people went out and bought that for $200. But again, it's not my money. So, and they're not marketing it to me, but Sony didn't care. It's like, they don't care what I think. It's like, we're putting this out. Here's the price. Again, big dog, big nuts. Okay, so you want it, you're gonna pay for it. That's the way it is. So, but yeah, just imagine 1440p to 2160p dynamic. You may have an 1800p 60 mode. So, and then, you know, so, but that 1800p mode, now you got maybe some ray tracing on there. So again, they're just gonna have more assets. That's fine. So it's all right. So not a big deal. So, so. Yeah, you have a PC, you got to worry about it. Yep. You don't have to worry about it. The consoles, though, however, are these consoles that came out, they were spec pretty high. You know, they were spec pretty high. But again, told you so. We told you so. You know. So just so you know, I told you that it was coming. You know, I told you that it was coming, and you know, it's just more about a new Xbox coming. It's about a new Xbox coming. Don't get caught up in the a new Xbox, a new PlayStation coming, and whether it's going to be you know, whether it's going to be a let's see here. How do I play this? You know, whether it's going to be a Pro or a PS6, we don't know. You know, we don't know that. That's why I was simply told to call it the next PS6 or the next PlayStation. That's what I was said. Hey, look, don't call it a Pro, don't call it a 6 either. Just call it the next PlayStation.
I have a day one PS5, and I'll get a PS5 Pro day one. Also, tears of joy.
Yeah, I mean, if you want one, you got to spend it. Again, big dog gonna have big nuts. Shout out to Charles Hawk. I understand it. Look, I'm not saying I'm gonna go get it. I mean, we're talking about something that is possible next year. We're not even, it's cold as hell outside. I mean, at least where I live. I can't speak for you all. I'm not worried about it. I'm just telling you that it's coming, and I'm the one that told you it was coming. Don't get me wrong. I am glad that the what we call it, the mainstream media is catching up So here's your flying car. This is the Jetson 1. Take a look at it, people. This is their official site. So fair use, fair use. You know, this is their site. Just showing it to you guys, and we'll watch it, and we'll look at how this car breaks down. So this is an actual thing. This is not CGI. It ain't like Top Gun. Here it comes. So there it is. A flying car. It's real. It's in mass production. So that is what it's looking like right there, ladies and gentlemen. If you hadn't seen it before, and there's what it looks like. So he's not going very fast. But how are they filming this? I believe they have a drone with him going around. But you can see it looks like it's just roll bars and there's somebody sitting in it. But it's a flying car. And there's other ones too. This is not the only one, but you can see how it's supported. Looks like it's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 blades on it. So can't put no groceries or anything in there, can you? You know, can't carry, you might be able to carry a little chihuahua, but you can see how low it is to the ground and stuff like that. And it can be used for rescue, spotting. I think the military is going to buy some. First responders, some of the first responders, firefighters are going to learn how to fly them. This overall good stuff. You know, you may see them flying around the beaches and stuff like that. You'll see something like that. So, but we'll have to wait and see. Go ahead and take this down before they get mad at a brother. But there they are. That's just one. You know, that is just one of several that are out there. They look different. They sound different. It is loud, as you can imagine, but it's not as loud as you would think it is. So all the ones saying, well, devs haven't taken full advantage of these consoles. They by the time you want to stay ahead of the devs. Okay, you want to stay ahead of the devs. You don't want the devs sitting there, twiddling their thumbs, right? You don't want the devs twiddling their thumbs. You're saying, well, we need this and we need that. So no, you want them to already have the tools, like Mark Cerny was saying during his talk. You know, the tools are here. Let's see what these developers do, and I don't disagree with that. So they may just decide to do something like Naughty Dog did. They remake a game, they put new assets in it, they change the AI. They can do all that. I mean, that's fine too. You know, that's fine too. So the S will be dropped and the Series X will be the base. Well, the S right now is the top selling console. So what do you do with those people? I mean, again, do you offer them some kind of deal? Do you say trade in your S? We'll give you $300 toward the to the Xbox X. I mean, it's fine. I'm asking, you know, what would you do to move them off the S to the X? Because right now the S is selling. You know, it's a couple $100, and they're giving one away at Taco Bell. I'm pretty sure there was one at Taco Bell that somebody's trying to win on scratch-off tickets. So, on scratch and sniff, I should say. So, just it is what it is. You've seen jetpack. Yeah, they've had jetpack technology for a while. There was a movie that came out years ago called The Rocketeer, and at the opening, the Hollywood opening, they had a couple people on jetpacks, so rolling around. So, yep. So, yep, totally makes sense. So totally does make sense. So you think they're going to extend the generation? The Pro makes perfect sense. Yeah, and you need to be ready, and then they need to also be ready if they don't, just to put the next PlayStation out there. Again, I was just told to call it the next PlayStation. So I called it a Pro. I no longer call it a Pro. It's just the next PlayStation. With that said, I put it in the title because I'm the one who talked about it weeks ago. I mean, weeks ago we were talking about how they're going to have the ray tracing be better. It'd be at 60 frames per second now. So, just stuff like that. And they may have a toggle. You know what I'm saying? They may have a toggle on there where you can turn it on, turn it off, like you do now. So, you turn it down. And maybe we could have tiers of ray tracing. Tiers, like a tier 1, tier 2 ray tracing on your console. I mean, we'll find out. The good news is we gonna find out, So and then we'll see. Sony's first party developers, first people I'm looking at. So that's just me though. So, but I believe that is it, man. That's all I have for you guys, man. Here for about an hour. So, and again, I came in. I was later tonight. I normally want to be doing this about 6:30, between 6:30 and 7:30. So, that's where I want to be on this. So that way I can turn in and don't say to what. I know you smart asses. So, but any other things, any other questions, anything? Shout out to everybody that was here. Shout out to all the people that donated. Again, that's, I know times are crazy out there. So anything you give is great. I always say donate a share and donate a like if you don't mind. And anything else, definitely appreciate it. So, guys, that is it, man. I'm going to bounce. So they should have an option for native 4K 60. I believe that is coming. But again, remember, it's up to the devs to take advantage of that. And these games that are, you have the open frame rates and stuff like that. They may be able to lock them at 60. They may be able to lock them. You got to remember stuff like that. Like The Last of Us has a, what is it like? It has I looked it up. It has a 1800p. That's what it was. It was an 1800p 60 mode. So they have a checkerboarded 4K 60 mode. So 4K 60. So just imagine that being dynamic. They get that off the checkerboard line. They get it to dynamic 60 with ray tracing. I'm just putting that out there. Not that I'm not saying they're going to do it. I'm just saying they would have that type of option. They would have that type of option. To do it. So I don't think ray tracing is going to be on The Last of Us on PC either. At least that's not what's been reported, right? So, yeah, here we go. So it says, you hope PS5 Pro is in development. They got something going on. So, all right then, guys, that is it. I'm going to bounce and start to relax and put my food in the deep fryer before I take a deep nap. So I will talk to you guys later. Make sure you vote. Do meta and open critic scores matter? I mean, again, remember the question you need to comment on, which is simple, which is why why do people still listen to these guys that are full of crap? What is your opinion, okay, on why there are people listening? Again, I don't listen to them, so you can rest assured I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying I don't get why you do, and then tell me why you do. Here's why I listen to this guy. Here's why I listen to this guy. I listen to, he may be entertaining. You may like the fact that they you may like some, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm not here to throw stones at it. I've said before, grown-ups who do this for a living are going to be doing things differently. I understand that. Trust me. I've seen the people on Twitch doing stuff, and man, they're good. I mean, they're just real good at it. So, but guys, like I said, you all stay blessed. You all take it easy. Have a good rest of your week, and I will probably talk to you again on Sunday unless something major happens. So, but look for a gameplay video on Saturday. Swing by and leave a like if you don't mind. Basketball tournament is on, so we'll get it done before the basketball tournament comes on. Hopefully your favorite team wins, and hopefully your brackets do very well. I think I've won one NCAA bracket, and I've been doing it for over 30 years. So, and I think I won it in '89 when Michigan beat Seton Hall. I won $62. I thought I was the king of the world walking around the grocery store where I was working at with $62.